Welcome back all of you to the online classes of biology. So we were studying chapter 8, cell, the unit of life. We have already studied about the cell theory and the overall view of a cell, and I told there are prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell, animal cell, plant cell. Likewise there are different types, and if you see the basic structure of all of this, that will be almost same. They will have a boundary known as cell membrane, then cytoplasm, nucleus, and in prokaryotic cells this nucleus won't be there. Instead of that, there is a place where you can see the genetic material known as nucleoid. But in eukaryotic cells there are nucleus and cell organelles distributed in the cytoplasm. Okay, and we have also studied that the shape and the size of the cells varies differently. Okay, they according to the functions that they have to do, they are of different types. Okay, and I have explained to you about the structure of a prokaryotic cell, and the genetic material of them are single circular DNA, and some of them are having an extra chromosomal DNA called plasmids, isn't it? And I have told you that they are having sometimes they can have an extra membrane or extra protective layer made up of glycocalyx. If the glycocalyx is hard, okay, then it is formed the capsule, and if it is loose, then it is slime layer. Then it is having cell wall, plasma membrane. So all the structure we have seen, and the plasma membrane contains certain infoldings. These infoldings are known as mesosomes. Okay, the infolding of plasma membrane of prokaryotic cell is called the mesosome, and they help in cell wall formation, DNA replication, then distribution to daughter cells. Okay, they also help in the process of respiration, secretion process, and they also increases the surface area of the plasma membrane and enzymatic content. So all these are the functions of mesosomes. So what are mesosomes? Mesosomes are the infoldings. Okay, infoldings of plasma membrane of the bacteria or prokaryotic organisms. So what are their function? They help in cell wall formation, DNA replication, okay, and their distribution to daughter cells. They help in the respiration, secretion process. Okay, they increase the surface area of plasma membrane, etc. Okay, then in blue-green algae, have you heard about blue-green algae, where we have studied in kingdom Monera? We have studied, isn't it, cyanobacteria or blue-green algae. Okay, so they are having certain membranous extensions into the cytoplasm, and they are known as chromatophores. Okay, what are they? Chromatophores. This you can find where? In blue-green algae. Okay, and these chromatophores contains pigments, because we have studied that blue-green algae can do photosynthesis, isn't it? So they need pigments, and these pigments are present in the chromatophores. Is it clear? So bacteria also may have, okay, some of them may be motile or some may be non-motile. Okay, and in the motile forms you can see thin filament like extensions from their cell wall, and they are known as flagella. Okay, so flagella are locomotory organs in the motile. Motile means which can move. Okay, flagella helps the bacteria to move. Okay, and this arrangement of this flagella also varies. Some are having only one flagella, some are having two flagella on both the sides. Okay, then some are having flagella all over the body. Likewise, the arrangement and the number also varies. So if you take a bacterial flagellum, the three main parts of them are filament, hook and basal body. Okay, so these are the structures or the parts of the flagella. What are they? Filament, hook and basal body. Understood? And the filament is the longest part and which is extending, okay, out from the cell surface. Understood? So these are the parts of what? The flagella. Flagella is what? The locomotory organs, whip-like structure with which they can move in motile forms. Okay, and in addition to this, they also have some other extensions like what? Pili and fimbriae. Okay, pili and fimbriae, and they are not they are not involved in what? Movement. Okay, but see, pili are tubular structures and they are made up of a special protein, and fimbriae are bristle-like structures. Bristle you would have seen now. So likewise, bristle-like fibers, and you can see that they help, these structures help the bacteria to attach to the rocks and all in the substrate, or to attach themselves to the substrate. Is it clear? And I told in prokaryotes all the cell organelles are absent, isn't it? But they are having an organelle, that is what? Ribosomes. What are they? Ribosomes. So which is the organelle present in prokaryotes? Ribosomes. Okay, and its size is about 15 nanometer to 15 nanometer by 20 nanometer in size, and they are made up of two subunits. We will study the detailed structures of ribosomes and other organelles in the following of this chapter, in the following classes of this chapter. So just you understand that there are two subunits, okay, and the subunits are seen separately, okay, but the main function of ribosome is what? They help in the process of protein synthesis. Okay, protein synthesis. What are proteins? They are formed from the polymerization of amino acids, isn't it? So this process, the polymerization of amino acids to form protein, is taking place where? In the ribosomes. Is it clear? So ribosomes are the organelle which are also present in where? In the prokaryotes, but the prokaryotic ribosomes are different from that of the eukaryotic one. Okay, in prokaryotic subunit, the subunits are, in prokaryotes, the ribosomal subunits are 50S and 30S. Okay, and they, when they present together, they form 70S. S is actually a sedimentation coefficient. Okay, and its unit is Swedberg. Okay, Swedberg unit. So only its short form we are writing as S. So when they combine together, okay, you can see 50 plus 30, it is 80, but it is condensed to form what? 70S. Understood? And this is different from the 80S. In eukaryotes, the ribosomes are of 80S. Okay, and in prokaryote it is 70S, and the subunits of them are larger subunits of 50S and the smaller subunits of 30S. And you can see that the main function I told, what is it? What is the function of ribosomes? They help in the process of protein synthesis. How protein synthesis is done in ribosomes? By the polymerization, combination of a number of amino acids. Is it clear? And the message for the combination of this amino acids to form this protein is given by RNA. Okay, means DNA is having this message, and DNA will send it through the mRNA. Understood? Messenger RNA. So during the formation of protein synthesis, this ribosomes units, they will join together and they get attached to the mRNA. Okay, so this process you will learn in detail in the next year. Okay, so during this protein synthesis, the 50S subunit and 30S subunit they unite to form a single unit, okay, and they will be attached to a single mRNA, okay, and you can see a single mRNA with a number of ribosomes, and this is called what? Polyribosomes or polysomes. So what are polysomes or polyribosomes? During protein synthesis, you can see that a single mRNA is attached to a number of ribosomes. Is it clear? So this is known as polyribosomes or polysomes. Is it clear? Then, and you can also see that a number of reserve materials, okay, reserve food materials and other things are stored in the cytoplasm in the form of certain inclusion bodies. They are not having any membranes, but they are lying freely in the cytoplasm. Okay, so examples for this are phosphate granules, cyanophycean granules, glycogen granules, etc. Okay, and you can see that gas vacuoles are present in blue, green and purple and green photosynthetic bacteria. Okay, so you can see what these reserve materials, which are not bounded by any membrane, they are simply lying here and there as granules, okay, called what? Inclusion bodies. So about prokaryotic cell, you got an idea na? What all are there? Okay, the typical example is of a bacteria. It will have the outer membrane, okay, or outer protective layer called what? Glycocalyx. If it is loose, we call it as what? Slime layer, and if it is tight, then what? Capsule. Okay, after that cell wall is there, then cell membrane. Cell membrane shows what? Infoldings that are known as mesosomes. Clear? Then we have studied about the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is devoid of any cell organelles except what? Ribosomes. Is it clear? Then you can see the genetic material is not present in the nucleus, but it is what? Found in a particular area. That area is known as what? Nucleoid. And the DNA or genetic material is a single circular DNA. Okay, and in some bacteria you can see that in addition to this extra chromosomal DNAs are there. They are known as what? Plasmids, isn't it? So like this, what? The cytoplasm you can see, and in the cytoplasm ribosomes are there, and these ribosomes are what? Of 80S. Sorry, is of the the ribosomes of prokaryotes are 70S, not 80S, it is 70S. In eukaryotes you can see 80S. Is it clear? Then what we can see in addition to that, cell inclusions. Okay, and when you see the what? Protective layers, I told what? Glycocalyx is there, and the glycocalyx is made up of different types of chemicals, and when we do the gram staining process, if they retain the gram stain, then it is known as gram positive bacteria, and if it is not taking, or if it is not retaining that color of the gram staining process, then it is gram negative bacteria. Okay, then I told some of the what? Filaments, sorry, some of the flagella you can see, pili, okay, fimbriae, all these are what? The extensions of the cell wall. Is it clear? So this is the overall view of a prokaryotic cell or a bacterial cell. Now we are going to study about the eukaryotic cell. So when you consider the eukaryotic cells, they the protist, plants, animals, fungi, all these are having what? Eukaryotic cells. So eukaryotic cells are having a well defined nucleus, isn't it? Nucleus is well defined. It is protected by nuclear membrane, okay, and has what? A number of membrane bound organelles, isn't it? Then they are also having what? A complex locomotory and cytoskeletal structures. Protein what are there as cytoskeleton structures, okay, and the genetic material is found in chromosomes. DNA is arranged in chromosomes, and these chromosomes are linear, okay, not in circle. They are linear and they are in pairs. Okay, so if you see the eukaryotic cell itself, in plants and animals they are entirely different. So do you remember the structure of plant cells and animal cells that you have studied? So this is what a structure of a plant cell, and you can see even though the basic structure is similar, but there are differences also. So the first difference is what? Cell wall, presence of cell wall. Cell wall is present in where? In plant cells. Okay, and animal cells do not have what? Cell walls. And then plastids. Plastids are found in where? In plant cells. What is chloroplast is one kind of plastids, isn't it? That helps in the process of photosynthesis. They carry pigments. And these plastids are entirely absent in where? In animal cells. Okay, and you can see in plant cells the vacuole will be in the center and it will be large. Okay, large central vacuole you can see. Okay, can you see here? Large central vacuole. But in animal cell it will not be having a central vacuole, but vacuoles are small and it is too many in number. But here the number of vacuoles in plant cells, the number of vacuole is less, but the size is large. But here the size is small, but they are many in number. Okay, then other difference of animal cell and plant cell is, in animal cells they are having centrioles, from which, okay, you can see the flagella or if any other structures are there, then they are originating, or fimbriae or pili, all this arises, okay, from the this kind of especially the flagella arises from centrioles, but it is not there here. Centrosomes, okay, centrosomes, from centrosomes this arises, and they are this plant cells, they won't have this centrioles. Okay, centrioles are absent in them. In where? In plant cells. Is it clear? So you can see the centrioles here. Okay, the centrioles, two centrioles will be forming the centrosome, and this forms the basal part of the cilia or flagella in animal cells, and this is absent in where? Plant cells. And this also help in the formation of spindle fibers. That also we will study in detail when we study about the cell division chapter. Okay, so during cell division, the spindle fibers, they are fiber like structures that originate from the centrosomes. They help to pull the chromosomes, okay, so that it will get distributed equally to the daughter cells. Okay, so this process I will teach you in the when I will teach you about the cell division process. Understood? So this centrosomes and centrioles are absent in where? Plant cells. Is it clear? So these are the major difference between a plant cell and an animal cell. So you have to draw this diagram in your copy and you have to practice. So difference between animal cells and plant cells, you understood? Animal cells and plant cells. So in plant cells there is cell wall. Animal cells do not have the cell wall. Okay, then next, what? Plastids are present in plant cells and it is absent in animal cells. Okay, then next is what? Vacuole is central and large in where? In plant cells, and their number is less. But in animal cells, okay, they are having a number of vacuoles and their number is more, but their size is small. Okay, and then in animal cells they are having centrioles, but it is absent in almost all the plant cells. So these are the difference, and you go through this diagram also. Okay, you have to learn this diagram also, and this much will be the midterm portions of your exam. Okay, for this much will be coming. For cell membrane onwards, I will teach you afterwards. Okay, so this much you please learn thoroughly. The textbook also you have to read, understood? Because MCQs and subjective questions will be there, so prepare for both up to here.